Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, big audience.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitars Outside of the Town. Try that one more time. Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you are listening to our show. Sold. We're gonna have a great time tonight. Why? Because we like doing this. If nothing else, that's why. So
yes.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
And we like you.
Yeah, a lot. Especially you. Yes, you. You just looked in the rearview mirror.
I'm talking to you.
Check. I know you did. We've got a great guest, a return guest, and a very fine supporter of the show. So who are you, man?
Hi, I'm Kenny Howes.
Kenny Howes, not to be confused with Kenny Haas.
There's Kenny Haas from Reverend and Kenny Howes.
Yes. Yeah.
Howes.
Kenny Howes.
with an S. You'd be surprised at the people that want to leave that off, but here I am.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, welcome back.
Thanks, boys.
We are going to explore a lot of different things. Just a kind of a general catch-up. Kenny's very active and enthusiastic about gear.
Yes, he is.
Specifically, Ricks and Voxes and
Bears, oh my.
Exactly. And we're going to get into some stuff. Kenny, would you like to elaborate on what I just said?
Well, a basic overview because we're bound to go deep because that's what we do here. And I've been I wouldn't say 100% exclusive, but I've been using the Ricken-backers and variations or various box amplifiers for since high school, and that was a long time ago, kids. It's a thing, and we'll go further down the rabbit hole as we go, but that's a big thing for me, and a lot of you may know me, first of all, from a previous episode of the Guitar Knobs from the 1980s or something. Tony? I want to say it's episode 241.
241.
That's very specific.
I will verify. This.
I only know that because I have it bookmarked on my browser, and so I always see 241 Kenny Howes, blah blah blah. So anyway, but a lot of you probably know me because I was the customer service manager at Ricken-backer for 7 years. And if you are a Rick enthusiast or player, and then chances are we've spoken or met, or I helped you in some way.
Excellent.
And yes, you are correct, Kenny. Episode number 241 from November of 2021. It's been that long ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
Wow. 4.5 years ish.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. As we approach our 500th episode at the end of this year, you were about halfway through.
I'm a veteran. Holy moly.
Outstanding. Well, we are going to get motoring through the said show. Tony, if someone might be joining for the very first time, listening for the first time, we've got a lot of new listeners lately.
This is true.
And we're seeing numbers, kind of climb, which is, I like that.
That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Would you like me to tell you what we do here?
I would.
Well, we like to talk about gear. Specifically, we like to talk about boutique gear, and that's things like guitars and amps and pedals and accessories and books, all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff we love, that's what we're talking about. We focus in on usually some smaller builders and things, but we've had some pretty heavy hitters.
Yeah. Smaller is a diminutive way to put that, but it's not incorrect.
Well, okay.
Lesser known.
Lesser known.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, let's use that. But that's what we do. We kind of get the story behind the story, how they got started, what they're doing, what they plan to do. And
I just connected with 3 last night.
That's great.
I mean, it never ceases to amaze me, and I just love it. I'm like, ooh. It's like, when you, I don't know if you guys get this in your Instagram feeds, but for whatever reason, I get people finding, digging for gems and stuff in Arkansas or whatever. I don't know why, because I don't do that, and I don't care about gems. But they want me to see this guy uncover some big, giant crystal formation. And it's kind of, treasure hunting. I get it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of nice.
That's cool.
I don't know where I was going with this, but, there you go.
Here's what a dweeb I am about guitar stuff is that when you said uncovering some gems in Arkansas, I thought, oh, are there a bunch of cool vintage guitars in Little Rock that we haven't uncovered?
Just Ibanez gems. There's a whole stockpile of them.
It was the original Ibanez factory,
Yes.
They built them underground.
So we're going to, a couple of announcements here real quick. Number one, we have something to give away again.
Would that be, pray tell?
Well, Tony, I'm going to whisper in your ear.
I'm covering up so those guys.
Don't listen, everybody.
They're whispering to each other.
Oh, yes. The whisper in my ear said something about a brand spanking new Dave Hunter Fender Telecaster 75 yearbook giveaway.
That's right.
This is pretty sweet. I've got one
Who's
right
that
here.
going to, Tony?
Why don't we give it to Don Claus?
I think he deserves it.
Yes, Don Claus.
All right. Well done.
Second and sold.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tony. That was moderately outstanding work.
Hey, I have an announcement too.
Okay, good.
By the way, I just caught this on my.
Well, hang on a second.
Oh, you're not done yet?
Thank you so much for your support and for being part of our show Familia.
Yes, thank you.
Familia, maybe.
Familia.
And this is an outstanding book. Dave Hunter he puts together just some really great stuff. And he's been a fantastic guest. And if you want to hear some of that, Tony's going to dig that up and tell us in a little bit what number that this one was.
I only dig things up once per episode, and I've already
dug up the last one.
Some gems in Little Rock.
Hey, speaking of Familia,
Yes.
have you seen the almost completed now Familia Sagrada in Barcelona?
Yeah, they did a big fireworks thing on the top of it.
Oh my God, it is unbelievable. I was there 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw recently pictures of this thing, and it's literally twice as big as it was when I was there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal.
Yeah.
So
was it 145 years, something along those lines?
it seems. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And it is now the tallest cathedral in all of the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing. If you have a chance to go to Barcelona, it's
Some
a
might argue
must-see.
the Sequoia Forest is.
Well,
Anyways.
okay. There you go.
Okay, that's
Hey.
for my friends in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes. Anyhow, I do have an announcement.
Yes, please, because I have more.
Because you do. What
I do.
you want to continue with
please.
yours?
You've
Okay.
already broken my stride.
I'm sorry. We tried to be professional.
Nobody
around
gonna
here.
hold me down.
I was waiting for one of you guys to go there.
So a while back, not too long ago, Hofner announced that they were having some serious financial difficulties and were possibly going to file bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. Well, the good news is within the last couple of days, a German group has purchased Hofner. And one of the major distributors and the big distributor in Europe is going to be Thomann, which some people might know from it's a German website that you can mail order stuff.
Yeah, isn't that what the Harley Benton stuff
Yeah.
was? Yeah. Okay.
And so it sounds like things are going to be stable. Production is going to continue.
What is Hofner making these days?
They make mostly violin basses, and then they also make violins and cellos and classical instruments.
Yeah.
But they're in terms of rock and roll instruments, the Hofner violin bass.
That's pretty much it.
They also make really mean jazz guitars, like
the very thins. That's right.
very thin. They're very thin, but they also make a thing that's more akin to an L4 or super fun. The big jazz boxes. They also have been really good at that for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
So it sounds like the deal's gone through. They're going to continue. I mean, they may diversify a little bit more. I mean, they did release some import versions, over the last probably 10, 15 years. But that's good news for all you Hofner fans out there.
Yeah, right on. Thanks, Tony. Okay, a couple of other things I wanted to bring us a little bit up to date. We are going to be announcing a lot more stuff regarding the Dr. No endeavor. I'm just calling it that for right now. We haven't landed on it's a working title.
Yes.
But he and I had a great discussion over this past week, and it was very, very exciting. I love talking with him, and we got a lot done, but now we still got to get a lot done. But trust me when I say this is going to be really something special. So a little bit more to come on that. We don't want to just go, here's the thing, and then have to re-corral the idea. But it's going to happen fast. It's going to be swift. It's going to be
furious,
impactful, and furious. And it's going to require that we have some people who are really, truly dedicated to this idea of what that we're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited, and so is he. So more to come on that.
Excellent.
I think. Oh yeah. Not just randomly. I just wanted to point out. Hey, I'm pretty sure everybody knows on the show I am a huge Beastie Boys fan. That doesn't have anything to do with guitars, but Mike D. And these guys were punkers before they were hip. Doing the raps and junk.
Stuff.
Yeah. What?
Not junk.
Junk. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Junk can be good
with a QE at the end.
The raps
Anyways,
like tortillas.
Yeah. Mike D. has put out a new album, and if you are interested in that, like, oh, I'd be up for that, and it's not. It is not what you think. It's very different, and I'm very excited about it.
No.
But if you go to Mike D's website, you can order either a clear or a splatter vinyl of it. I got the splatter one because I'm excited about this.
Nice.
And also, All Them Witches has a new album out. I know it's not brand new this week, but it's very, very, very recent. And that's some really fantastic guitar stuff. More to come on that. But go check that out. Drive home to that. Drive to work to that. Drive around the block a few times to that. Okay. What's going on this week? Tony's going to kick us off, and then we're going to hear from our pal Kenny.
Okay. Well, speaking of Kenny Haas, not House, Haas.
Of Reverend
Guitars. I went up to Toledo to the Toledo Guitar Show this past weekend.
Okay.
And I have to say it was quite nice. The facility that they had it at was super nice.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of familiar faces that we'll see probably.
What makes it nice, Tony? Is it like tablecloths or?
It was a nice room. It was.
What does that mean?
It was. I mean, it wasn't just a bunch of tables and chairs thrown into a room.
Okay.
And they did have tablecloths on the tables.
Was it large in size?
It was significant. It was
So
at
there's
least
lots of walking room.
There was a lot of walking room. You were not doing the conga line.
Okay, good. Because that's fun.
And it was quite nice. There was, I mean, unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of things that I was really interested in. But there were, some unusual guitars. Kenny had his whole display from Reverend, because Reverend's based up in Toledo, and they helped sponsor the show. So he had the big Dallas show display.
The big one? Wow.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool.
That's probably the same as the NAMM one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
that's a big pyramid of guitars.
And he told me he sold a couple of guitars at the show.
I would hope so.
Which is great. I mean, but I did a couple laps around the room and chatted with Kenny for a bit, and
nobody called 911.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good.
No. Everyone was safe. But it was an interesting.
You keep saying interesting, and there was nothing that you liked. So spit it out.
No. I mean, I saw a lot of very similar things. The one cool thing, this guy must have had a dozen 80s Ibanez Roadstars altogether.
Wow.
I mean, any color, any pickup combination. That was kind of cool to see. There were some other things that were, it's typical guitar show stuff that you would, normally see, and I'm sure we'll see it this weekend. We have the Columbus show coming up this weekend, and but it was definitely worth going to, and I'll continue to go back there. It was. We have friends up in Toledo, and so it's nice that we can hang out there.
They have a lot of pedal peoples.
They actually had, they had people selling pedals.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, your buddy that sometimes purchases things from you at the Columbus show, he had a big display.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Well, that's good.
well, there's the one thing. He did have a Surfy Bear blonde floor pedal that I was considering.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
But you only considered it.
Well, because my wife was there, so.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she wasn't at the show, but if I brought that
She's just
back.
with you all the time in your head.
No, Tony, you don't need that.
Oh my God, what are you gonna do with that?
What?
Anyways,
Yeah. And then one other thing I was playing around with, and Kenny, I think you'll appreciate this. I am always trying to come up with a little different, maybe quieter pickup for my neck on my 4003. And I've tried the Duncan Ricken-backer sets, and I just have never been real happy with how they fit, one, and two, how they sound. So I had a toaster cover that I was saying, well, what'll fit in here? And I try, like a P90's too big and a humbucker's too big. But then I had a Duncan Antiquity mini humbucker. And I said, let me just try this. So I took the cover off, and damn, wouldn't the whole thing fit perfectly underneath a toaster cover.
oh,
That's cool.
So I popped that into my 4003, and it's actually a good sounding pickup. It still has kind of the single coil clarity, but it doesn't have the hum.
For future reference, have you tried the Rick HB1?
I've never tried one of those.
They're awesome.
I thought they were kind of hot though, weren't they? I mean,
but it's basically a mini bucker. They're blade style magnets, and if you use them with 250K pots, then you just got a quiet, no noise Rick pickup. But if you do them with 500K pots like you do with any other humbucker, they come to life. I've got them in a 330, and it just jumps out. So, for your consideration.
Well, I'm always up for experimentation, and that might be the way to go. I mean, I've seen them, and I know they didn't use those in a lot of models, did they? I mean, I know like the Susanna Hoffs model. Yeah,
and they also did them in the 4004s, which are like the same outline as the 4003.
Yeah,
but with no pick guard or any of that stuff. They used them on some of the other guitars, but they drop in. They're a perfect drop in to any other Rick instrument.
Yeah,
made in the last 50 years, and they're just great.
Okay, well, I am going to consider that too. But like I said, right now I'm pretty happy, and I like the look of a toaster pickup, of course. And for those who don't know what a toaster pickup is, it's the old 50s and 60s style Rickenbacker pickup that looks like two toaster slots on the top, and those you find them in guitars and basses as well of the era. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the pickups they used in basses also have 6-pole pieces?
That's right. Unless there's some kind of wacky custom thing that somebody made, they're all 6 poles. I've seen aftermarket ones that were 4 poles, but yeah, they're basically the guitar ones in the neck position of the bass. Now the bridge position on a traditional Rick bass is 4 poles.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anyhow, that was my experimentation for the week.
all right.
How about you, Kenny? What's going on in your music world this week?
Music world. Well, my band has laid dormant for a couple of years. My own, my original band, and but we are blowing off the cobwebs, and we've been doing some local shows and stuff. And tell me, how long from today do you think the show will drop?
Oh, not next week, but the week after that one.
Okay, well then we will have announced this by then. So it's the year's 2016, and I was sitting around going, you know what? There's no hubbub about the upcoming 50th anniversary of the Beatles' Revolver album. Why is that? Well, maybe it's because Revolver is somewhat maligned in America because it lost 3 John Lennon tracks. Everybody knows the history of that. But those of us that grew up with it on CD know that Revolver will knock you across the room, and it's experimental, and it's
the best
got
one.
Sound, and now history's been kind of rewritten where people go, that Sgt. Pepper album's pretty good, but Revolver might have the edge. And so I organized my own band, plus we augmented with 3 or 4 more people, other instruments and such, an extra guitar, a keyboard player, and so on. And I got a horn section, a string section, and a different singer for every song. So it's kind of an all-star thing, and said, Kenny Howes and Friends, Revolver's 50th anniversary. And we promoted it like we would any other show, maybe a little bit extra. And it was in a small theater here in Atlanta where I live. And they had to turn people away. It was against fire code. It was standing room only, sold out.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it, and still don't. And the whole thing, as these things go, the whole thing went by. It was a blur, and I barely remember it. Somebody filmed it, and I still I don't remember that happening. It just, I was kind of musical director, and it was off the charts. Well, in the interest of blowing off the cobwebs of the band, as I just got through saying, this is the 60th anniversary, and so we're gonna do it again.
Nice.
We're gonna do. It won't be as all-star, but we've got all the auxiliary players, and we're going to play Revolver live for you.
That's awesome.
What time should I be there?
6.
Where will this be, actually?
This will be in Atlanta, Georgia, at a club, and this is a long name. It's at the Garden Club at Wild Heaven West. Wild Heaven is a venue that's got several locations in town. This is at the Wild Heaven West, and it's a club within this complex called the Garden Club. And I'll give you links later in today's broadcast where you can check it out. So I don't have to tell you more about it now. But anyway, that's we have not yet announced it as of this taping, but we will have announced it as of the airing of this podcast. So
yes,
very cool.
That is what's new with me, music wise. Oh, also a 4003S followed me home the other day. I work in a music store and don't get a discount on used gear, but I do get first dibs. And a 4003 in midnight blue walked in. Ooh. And that for schlugging reason have discontinued the blue guitars. And so I played it and it was set up perfect. And I said, yeah, all right. And I brought it home. And I don't play bass much these days, but it's such a good one. It's got the snap like it should. It sounds great. It looks great. And that is my latest Rick acquisition.
Nice.
Okay.
That is outstanding.
And I did send you guys pictures of the silver 330. I got a silver 330.
That's cool. I really like the silver one. Are you going to do anything with the guards yet?
I'm not sure. I thought about doing mirror guards or something, but it's in nice shape. I used it for a show, but I kind of want to. I don't want to get it too scratched up. So I may not do any customizing. I may just leave it at home. I can't decide.
Yeah, put a Kaler in it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Anyway, that's me. Todd, what about you?
Hey, thanks, Kenny. I am reaching over to the case.
Speak into the microphone, Todd.
I'm reaching over into the case to show Tony what I did with the recent. Well, so we got these. What do you want to call them, Tony?
Well, Kenny's aware of them. He's actually wanted to buy one to smash.
Well, I have two things to say about these guitars you guys got. First of all, shame on you.
Thank you.
And second of all, if it was cheap enough, I would consider buying one because at some point I would smash it on stage.
Aha.
There you go.
Well, they are.
I
and you
will
should.
not. I will not smash a real Rick. But,
Oh God, no.
So
no.
So what I did against Tony's, so we went and fixed this up a little bit, right? And Tony,
We dolled it up.
yeah. So one of the things I did was, so we have these electro stickers.
Yeah.
Tony, you want to explain what electro?
Well, Electro was actually the original Electro String Company, right?
Parent
company. And that over the years transformed into Ricken-backer proper.
Got it.
They also made a student line under the Electro brand, among others, including Ryder and
Yep.
Contessa.
There's one that was the name. It's a. You would ask me. All the student models were variations of the 420 and 450 models.
Yeah.
But they either say Electro or a Rider or one of the other names like that. There's not many of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the one that we chose to throw on our truss rods and stuff. But now, what would Tony? What do you call this particular one? This is the top, the double decker.
Yeah,
pick guard.
It's a two-tiered guard.
Two-tier guard. And I told
Ricky
Tony,
style.
I said, "Hey, I want the bottom tier in gold sparkle, of course.
Yeah.
And I want the top clear." And his jowls just started flapping. He's like, "No."
I went so far as to make him a second
Yeah,
guard.
he goes, "I made you a different one because this is going to be stupid." and then we put it on, and to his credit, he goes, "Actually, that's pretty cool." And so then what I did was I took the decal in order to make this purposeful, and I had it reverse adhesed to the backside of this two-tier thing, so you can see through it.
Yeah.
And
Don't
so
have
the
to worry about
electro
it
thing's
scraping
there.
off.
Right. And then at the top, I took the lightning bolt from the Electro logo and just isolated it and made it a little bit bigger. And now that's on the truss rod cover, and it looks sick.
Nice.
And we put in, I think we each got the same.
Yeah, I found these. They're basically P90 style pickups that that
They look
fit.
really cool.
Yeah, they resemble like Ricken-backer, wide range pickups.
High gains.
Yeah, high gain. Or yeah,
Yeah. So that's just the bare 6 poles.
yeah.
With the black plastic stuff underneath it, but it looks outstanding. I really, really love it. And that was really fun to kind of take something and zhuzh it up.
Yeah.
Make it.
Nothing quite like putting a couple $100 worth of parts into $100 guitar.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't that bad.
No,
It wasn't that bad at all. I mean, it was still like a ridiculously inexpensive endeavor.
Yeah.
So and I really dig the way it looks. It's a neat addition to
Yeah.
my guitars.
And Kenny, in case you don't know, every guitar that Todd owns has to
Almost.
be black with a gold sparkle
Almost.
pickguard now.
Almost.
Are they all Pick Guardian Gold Sparkle Pick Guardian?
Yeah,
Well,
of
of
course.
course.
We'll post a couple. I'll send you a couple pictures of this, Kenny. You can see.
Okay.
And then the other thing that was going on was that we had our follow up, the said to be conclusion of the DIY Hello Sailor build.
Hello, Sailor.
Yeah, and unfortunately that it went a little bit long, but we're gonna finish it up again. And here's the cool part: 2 of them were finished, 1 of them weren't, and the other 2 guys were like, "Hey, can we come back on to do when he does when one of these guys finishes the 3rd one?" And we're like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Yeah, we'd like to talk again," and that just absolutely was the most awesome thing I could hear, because it totally reinforced this idea is like, this is bigger than us.
People.
Yeah, and it's people connecting.
People
and they
who
just
need
wanted to keep connecting.
people
That's true.
Are the luckiest people in the world.
So I was grateful for that, and I'm excited about what's going to come from this. I think we might do an episode where we just talk about the the whole process and have the guys on the show. And
Oh, I
all
think that
stuff.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay.
I wasn't invited to be part of that, so.
No, you weren't. Well, you hate pedals, Tony.
I don't hate pedals.
No, you don't hate pedals. But we did have to build. We actually had to do the work. So I tried.
Are you
to stay
saying
out
that
of the way.
that I wouldn't do the work?
No,
is that what you're saying?
You would distract us too much because you're so handsome.
Oh, thank you.
Anyways, one thing.
Your therapy session, boys.
One thing that was very important to a lot of people sometime this week was they probably use their Tour Gear Designs patch cables.
Well, why wouldn't they, for God's sake?
Putting together boards all across the world.
Yes.
If you are interested in a better solution for your patch cables, Tour Gear Designs is the way to go. That's what we say.
Where would you get these things?
TourGearDesigns.com. Load up your cart, hit purchase, and don't freak out because you're going to be like, I thought you said there was a coupon code. It's going to come up as soon as you hit purchase. You get the code. Tony, what do you put in the code?
You put the guitar knobs, all lowercase, all one word.
How much do you save?
You're going to save 15%.
Yes.
That's 15% on top of a already reasonably priced product.
But I would say more than reasonably priced.
Yes.
It is kind of
And they're
ridiculously
good.
cheap.
They're flat. They're
Fantastic.
Take up very little space.
So thank you to Tour Gear for sponsoring our 4 on the Floor. Go get yourself some.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor. All right. Kenny House, what is your 4 on the floor?
Well, now I'm the singer in my band, but I play guitar and I play about half of the leads over the night. So I do need some different sounds. But my favorite sound has always been, other than just plugging relatively straight into the amp, I might use well, lately I've been using, I'll throw in an amp with this too. Lately, the amp I've been using is one of the 60th anniversary Vox AC-15s. It is different than your normal garden variety AC-15 because it's a reproduction of the 1960 circuit, which is a little more straightforward, and it does have a channel that has both vibrato and tremolo, just like your vintage AC-30 does. But I plug into that thing and turn it up halfway, and it's just right. It's just the right amount of breakup, just the right amount of everything. So pedal number 1, and the one that has been by my side for as long as I can remember, is a 70s MXR micro amp, dimed. So you're playing. You need to step out in the mix and get a little bit of teeth and play your solo and have some sustain. And I just kick that on and I do the thing, roll it back a little if I want somewhere in between on the guitar, and then just back off again. Because when I was a kid, I saw people using distortion pedals to play their lead, and they got swallowed in the mix. And I was like, I want to just jump out in the mix, right? And then I found for $20 somewhere, this is ages ago, an old MXR pedal that doesn't even have an LED on it, and a micro amp. And I said, "Oh, this looks like just what I need." And sure enough, that's the pedal I've had for 1,000 years for my lead guitar purposes.
Now I see. I sort of figured you'd be more of a tone bender kind of guy.
No, I'm not. Well, I'll get to that in a second as far as fuzz.
Okay.
But no, I don't. I think I probably have I don't have a vintage tone bender because I'd have to sell my car to get one. But I have some more modern version of it somewhere. But if and also because I'm the singer, I don't want to be dancing around with a big pedal board. I don't have a pedal board. I have a tuner and the micro amp on stage usually, and I don't use. If I did use a bunch of pedals, I'd use Tour Gear Designs patch cable. But I don't.
I thought you might. I thought you might.
Yes, but if I did have some pedals on the board, they would be the following that I would use. So the micro amp is number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, and I have used this from time to time, is the Ibanez UE405.
UE405.
It's an analog rack mount unit from the early 80s. And it is, let me think what the 4 effects are. It's got a compressor, chorus, analog delay, and a
this-
parametric EQ.
This has the,
and then
go ahead. You're going to do it. I
Yeah,
don't want to
and
steal
then
your thunder.
and then it has a great big long cable with a multi
Yeah.
pin connector and a remote foot switch for all these things. And that pretty much would cover all my needs if I was to use one on stage.
Yeah.
All
And
those,
it's not just foot switches. It's the big block foot switch that you see on the old Ibanez pedals.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so that would be one of my four I'll count that as one of my four on the floor, even though it's a multi effects.
That would be like if Pete Cornish had worked for Ibanez.
Exactly. And, I would love to. Have you guys ever run across a 70s or 80s Pete Cornish unit?
No.
I mean, I've seen the more modern pedals, but I have a friend that has a collection of them. But yeah, I'm fascinated by what he did. For those of you who don't know, Pete Cornish is a British engineer who would take pedals for, and for all the A-list British guys, Andy Summers, David Gilmour, et cetera, and he would take them out of their enclosures and put them all in one big, huge black box with just a bunch of buttons on it. And he would upgrade all the components. Those guys from that period would have just this enormous black box with with buttons on it, and I guess had clean power running from, but this is a time when nobody had good pedal boards of any kind. And so that's what an old school Pete Cornish board is. And I would love to see one. I mean, you see them for sale once in a while for $100,000 or something. So that's a cool thing. So yes, this would be like if Ibanez did that kind of multi effects. Now, Vox made an interesting amp in the mid '60s, which I'm going to mess up the model name. It started with a 7. I want to say 730 or 740 or something like that. And it was unusual. When you guys think of a hybrid tube and transistor amp, you'd think tube preamp, solid state power amp, right? That's the way it's kind of done these days. This particular amp was the other way around. It was a tube power amp and a solid state preamp. And this is the amp that is used on the Revolver album. And you can't find these things. They made 3 of them or something like that. These guys in Spain at Acklem Pedals got one, and they reverse engineered a pedal that's a preamp of that circuit. And the reason why that's important is, how the guitars on the Beatles Revolver have this great snarl. This has this great kind of teeth to it, and part of it is the Epiphone Casinos, but it's also that amp, which I guess you just plugged in and that's what it sounded like. Mm-hmm. Well, these guys a few years ago at Acklem, they make real interesting pedals, and this is one that is strictly for those Revolver sounds, and it's called the Dr. Robert.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you've probably seen it, and it's great. Those, Beatle fans, raise your hands. You'll know what the term Machschau means. And for those of you that don't, when the Beatles were a bar band in Germany when they were teenagers, the Germans used to shout at them, the Germans in the club, and say Machschau, which is
make show,
make a show. Don't just stand there, do something. And and so this pedal has a Machschau button on it.
That's cool.
Which has its own knob, and it sends it into, it goes from the guitar sound of, say, She Said, straight into Paperback Writer, it's a fuzz, but it's not zzz type of fuzz. It just kind of goes gong, and it's a great pedal. They've done an update on this pedal now, which now has top mounted tone controls. The one I have is first version, and it's I didn't think they could do it, and they did. So I'll certainly be using that for the upcoming Revolver show that I talked about.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Before you go any further,
yes,
I did want to point out, where you're talking about the old Pete Cornish stuff. One of our recent guests on episode 450 is DevTech Audio, and these are hand-built, guitar pedals in Australia. And he is a student, if you will, of Pete Cornish. Not that he was a teacher and an actual student, but you get it. And he actually does the Precision 1 and the soft drive as faithfully as can be mustered. And those are really outstanding sounding pedals. He sent a couple our way, and so if you are interested in that, a Pete Cornish, an OG Pete Cornish is going to set you back a mortgage.
Yes.
So if you're like, what's the next best thing? You should seriously check out devtechaudio.com, and is a absolute just super nice dude who is way into the tech of this.
Excellent. Yeah, my friend Mike is a collector and a player, and he's got some more modern Pete Cornish stuff. And if you buy them new from him, they'll engrave your name on it. So all of his pedals say, for Mike or whatever. But they're just individual. Like here's an overdrive, here's a compressor, here's a preamp,
Right.
whatever. What I'd like to see at some point, I'm probably gonna have to find it in the Smithsonian or something, is one of those big things that's as big as a guitar case that's got just a bunch of buttons in a black box.
Yep.
Yep. Anyway, where are we? Oh, pedal number 4. So, and this I may use at some point too. So, the Vox Super Beetle and its series of amplifiers, which was, which was from small to big, was the Viscount, the Buckingham, the Royal Guardsman, the Super Beetle, and were solid state amps made in Sepulveda, California, in the 60s, and they were loaded up with effects. And at some point I said to myself, man, wouldn't it be great if somebody made a pedal that just had all those goofy effects? And they're effects of the day. There's a mid-range boost, like a stuck wah sound, a fuzz, like basically a tone bender. And wouldn't it be cool if somebody did that? Well, this guy named Steve Walsh in the UK did do that. His circuit was based on the Marauder guitar, the Vox Marauder, which had all these sounds built into a hollow body guitar. I think it was hollow body. Back in the day, and he got one and reverse engineered all the stuff and put it into a pedal. Well, I don't know how they pulled it off, but Andy Babuke got Steve to make some Marauder pedals that say Super Beetle in a script, just like the original amps.
Oh, wow.
And he's been selling them. He's been selling them for a while. He's got them on his website. I found one secondhand, which is good because Andy's asking real money for this thing. And it's just a small, it's a multi-effects. It's only got 3 or 4 sounds in it, but let me see if I got this straight. Yeah, it's a fuzz, a mid-range boost, a thing called repeat percussion, which kind of makes your guitar go brrr.
Yeah.
and something else. It's not all the effects from the Super Beetle because it also had trem and spring reverb, but it's pretty cool. And so it's I have one of those Super Beetle pedals as well, and that's pretty cool.
Now, and who makes this?
Well, it's way out of production. Is this fella? I don't know if you say OSO or if that's the way it's pronounced or if it's also, but it's this fella Steve Walsh from the UK. I tried to hook up with him when I was out there last year, but he.
I see.
Yeah, and so he has the OSO Marauder pedal, and it was and it's a rebrand of that. But yeah, it was designed as a limited edition, and I'm really lucky to have picked one up. And if you want to get one, folks, Andy Babuke at Fab Gear has them on his website.
Yes.
Yes. Also a friend of the podcast.
Yes.
Indeed.
That's a handsome looking pedal, by the way.
Indeed. It looks like the panel of a Super Beetle.
Yeah.
Yes. Not the car, but the
not the car, but the
Yeah.
amp, yes. Anyway, that's my 4 on the floor, and I'm sure there's more. And I like pedals. Pedals are fine. I find myself buying them when I'm bored, but I want to get in there and just play. And also, I play a lot of 12-string electric, so that's kind of an effect in and of itself. And I have a lot of people. I've had people come up after shows going, "What pedal are you using?" And I'm like, just this cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, you gave us some very interesting ones. That's the whole point of this segment is that we want to be intrigued and dazzled and
Mesmerized
and mystified.
And without even intending to, I dipped into boutique makers.
Very good.
I had Ibanez and MXR, which are old school mainstream, and then these other two that are made by small builders.
Indeed.
Yes.
Well, that brings us to the part of our show where we find out what's going on with you. As we kind of touched on in the show, everybody, he being Kenny's right here, but I'm speaking to him like he's not.
I can almost see him.
Yes. Kenny has an immense amount of gear knowledge, specifically, but not limited to, the Vox and Ricken-backer stuff. So,
I have taken great joy since I've been on your show last, listening to you guys mispronounce Ricken-backer.
It's usually Tony.
50-50.
I've been working on it. If you notice so far today, I've said Ricken-backer.
Yes.
Almost every time.
Yeah.
Let me clear up a couple of things for those of you that have either never had a conversation with me about this or just don't know. First of all, BACK is not pronounced Bach. It's the company for a period in the 30s and 40s used the BACH spelling. That was an error at the printers. That was an error at the place that made the labels. The man's name was Rickenbacker. He Americanized his name. He was not German. He was Swiss. And my favorite story is I was talking to some fella once at a NAMM show, and he said, to paraphrase, he said, old man Rickenbacker was at one of the shows once. This is back in the 70s because Adolf died in 70-something, 75. And he said, I went up to him and said, Mr. Ricken-backer, quoting, it's really nice to meet you. And he referred to him as Ricken-backer to his face. And old Rick smiled at him and said, my name is Rickenbacker. I mean, if that, you can't get much more validation than that. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. And John Hall, if he was here, would probably say, John Hall, the owner of the company, would probably say, as long as you spell it right on the check.
Well, interestingly, so Ben Hall's Instagram website is Back Not Bach.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's how I've been. That's how I've been getting prepared to say it right all these years.
Yeah, exactly. That's just a thing. It's just how it's pronounced. And I know this, folks, because I answered the phone at the company every day for 7 years.
Now, did you did you answer it wrong, incorrectly at any point?
No, I had that under wraps before I even got interviewed. So it was cool.
Well prepared.
And I've seen people, and I'm just ribbing you guys because I love you, but I've seen people say it wrong in the same sentence. Heard them say, well, my Rickenbacker, blah blah blah, Rickenbacker.
yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's okay. You know what? It's funny. I still occasionally find myself saying Ma's right, which it's not. It's Mo's right because the man's name was Mosley.
Yes.
There's a few of those in the biz now, but we're talking about Hofner. Wouldn't it's got an umlaut? Wouldn't you say Herfner?
It'd be Herfner, really. I mean, if you're going to say it right, Herfner.
Yeah.
But I've never heard anyone say it like that. I should ask my friends in Austria.
Yeah.
Rickenbacker's not my name, and I'm not that upset about it. But it's just funny because it's funny.
But you seem to be hung up on people not putting the S at the end of your name.
Well, that is because it is my name, Mr. Dudzik.
Yeah.
That's Dudzik to you.
So, Kenny, you were just talking about the Super Beetle.
Yes.
I happen to know, a little birdie told me right before the show that we've got some news about a said Super Beetle. You want to jump into that?
Well, I over the years, and this is again dating back to just after high school, so this is the late 80s, had dabbled in finding amps from that period whenever I could. And so what it is it's a series of solid state amps that were loaded up with effects. And unfortunately, they took kind of two amp heads worth of stuff and crammed it all into one amp. And so they're notoriously difficult to work on, and so on. And when you have them, they're super high powered solid state with no gain control. So if you've got them where it's sounding really good, chances are the sound man has thrown you out of the club. They're very loud. So they started at the Viscount, which was something like 35 watts in the 212 combo, same preamp, and then worked its way up to the Super Beetle, which is 120 watts RMS, 240 watts peak power.
Whoa.
Of solid state. Wow. What? And the cabinet had 4 12s and 2 horns in it.
Wow. So it was like a full range kind of speaker?
It was almost a PA system.
It's almost like a PA system, yeah. Now that they did that probably because of the Beatles were using the Vox AC 100, which was a very simple amp, one channel, 100-watt tube with the 34s, and it had a cabinet with. It probably was a little dark sounding because it didn't have a top boost in it, so they put the horns in it. Well, then when they started making a line of Vox amps in California in the 60s to cut down on import costs and duties and whatever, they probably just copied that cabinet over. So yeah, it's got horns in it with a solid state, and it is crispy, man. But what Todd is alluding to is that I picked one up last year. And if you've, everybody here is a guitar nut, so you probably know what a Super Beetle looks like, and it's the coolest looking amp.
Yeah, it is very cool. The chrome stand and the trapezoidal head, that's pretty cool.
Now, was this, I'm going to take a stab and guess that these were made, was this before or after they played Chicago? I don't know my Beatle dates to the degree that you do, but
I also don't know exactly when they played Chicago. The Beatles only used these amps on stage in '66.
Okay. Yeah, because they stopped touring like right after that, right?
Yes, they used them for their up to their last show at Candlestick Park in '66. Touching back to the Revolver thing, that's another reason I wanted to do that initial 50th anniversary Revolver show, because they toured that album and didn't play any songs from it.
Interesting.
And also, I think I just messed up my Beatle history. The big stadium they played that wasn't Chicago.
It was Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium. Chicago.
No.
Where the heck's Shea Stadium?
Shea Stadium's in New York.
I knew that.
It's in Flushing, New York.
Right? Look, I'm not up on my anywhere else but California stadiums. I don't know.
You understand? There's Todd has
know the ones here in Ohio.
Todd has a geographic
stigmatism.
Yeah. Geography is meaningless.
Well, to answer your question, the first time they played Shea Stadium, which was the 56,000 seat thing, old Shea Stadium, which I believe they tore down and put it back up in the last few years. But
that's why I didn't know.
Out in Fletch. See, there you go. They used AC 100s for that show. They probably used the Super Beatles for the '66 Shea show.
By the seashore?
By the seashore. In Flushing. But I can't be certain of that because there's not as much documentation about the '66 show at Shea. But anyway, yeah, they used them all the way up to Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
Gotcha.
Now, what amps did the Ruddles use when they played at Shea Stadium?
I'm going to put an edit point in there. Todd's going to want to take that
out. The judges will leave it in.
Okay. I met Neil Innes once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met him at a Beatle Fest, and got a autographed Ruddles did a 12-inch single of I Must Be in Love on yellow vinyl with a peel banana label on it.
Now you guys have to explain now that you're going deep into the Ruddles.
The Ruddles.
Yeah.
So that was
The Ruddles was the original Spinal Tap, kids.
Yeah. Because it was an NBC. It was called All You Need Is Cash, and it was like an hour long.
It's an hour long
mockumentary. About a band called the Ruddles, who were,
a send up of the Beatles. All the songs were send ups of all the songs, and it's brilliantly done. It's really, really great.
Eric Idle was in it. Yeah,
Eric Idle's idea, and it has most of the not ready for primetime players from Saturday Night Live on it. A couple of Monty Python guys are in it, and Neil Innes wrote all the songs. Neil Innes from the Bonzo Dog Band, and it's wonderful. I'm sure most of your listeners are familiar with it, if not intimately. Yeah, no idea what the Ruddles used. Anyway, so
and you call yourself an expert.
I get Neil Innes autograph. Yeah. But so that's.
So what are you gonna do with this Super Beetle?
I'm so right now I'm just looking at it.
Okay.
It's just, I may actually drag it out for the Revolver show. I just can't turn it up past like 2, because they're just that loud. Oh, and
they're still pretty expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I got a good deal on this one, but during. What the kids call COVID prices. People were asking and sometimes getting way too much, like $4 or $5, $6 grand for these things.
Wow.
Jeez.
I paid nowhere near that. I just was happy that, because again, I work in a music store and have first refusal of, that looks good. I'll take it. So I did not pay that much for it. I can't pay that much for anything. But no, it's cool. It's complete. And the cool thing is that it comes with the same speakers that you'd find in a JMI AC30. It comes with the silver Celestion 15 watters, which is the same as the blue speaker, but they're silver.
Yes.
This thing is it's fun. It's like I said, it's kind of a decoration. I would like to take it out at least once. Somebody said there's the 4 stages of owning a Vox Super Beetle, which is I really want a Super Beetle. I think I found a Super Beetle. I bought a Super Beetle. Super Beetle for sale.
Yeah, like a boat.
Yeah, it's like my dad used to say that. My best advice I give to someone looking to buy a boat is don't.
Now, I mean, it seems to me though, because it is such a iconic type thing, that would be, if there's any amp that you would say, hey, you know what? It's okay. No one is ever going to need to play this. Gut it, and basically rehouse, like an AC30 or something in the back, but still have the appearance. That would look really cool.
I agree. And, I'm very, very sad that my pal Gary Halbeck at North Coast Music has closed his doors, because for a good long time, I'm going out on a limb here, I want to say for the better part of 20 years, he was making reproduction cabinets under license by Vox. So it wasn't like you guys and your fake Ricks. He paid a license to Vox. He was making chrome stands that you could get to put on your old Vox if you had lost its stand. Head cabinets, the trapezoid head cabinets, which are very difficult to make, especially on a smaller scale. Perfect everything. And you could buy an empty head cabinet and then, get your favorite local amp builder to build some one channel thing and put it in there or whatever. Whatever you wanted. And it would still look great.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny that you mentioned AC30. That's a funny thing about the AC30 is that you guys probably know this level of detail, but AC30 is actually a pretty complicated circuit in its original form, because the classic AC30 is 3 channels. Brilliance, which has the top boost, which is an added tone circuit, bass and treble tone circuit. A normal, which is a lot more straightforward, and then vibrato trem, which is both true vibrato, wave of pitch modulation, and tremolo, which is volume modulation. They're switchable on the panel, and that circuit is really, really, really involved. And the part where I was saying you guys probably know this is that Brian May notoriously would take all that extra stuff out of his amp or have his tech do it and run through the normal channel, which is all it has is a tone cut knob, and you turn that up all the way and you sound like Brian May. And you can get close to that with a modern AC30, any of the ones made in China. But they do have master volumes, which the old ones don't. But I do have a couple AC30s as well, and I can't use them at clubs. My joke for years is I walk in, at sound check with an AC30, and before I even put it on the stage, the sound man goes, "I'm going to need you to turn that down."
Yeah.
Because I used to just run them. My favorite sound on AC30 is turning up to 5, maybe 6.
Ooh.
And you're killing people, but it sounds great. So then I discovered the THD hot plate.
Yep.
Which is an attenuator. Any good attenuator will do, but I like this one and said it works. It's great. Let's use it. And so I grabbed a couple of those years ago, and they went out of business and then came back. I think they're back. I think they're up and running now, but they went away for a little bit. But that and you have to rig up a thing with your AC30 where you have to, get I bet you Tour Gear Design sells something like this. Like you have to get like a 2-foot speaker cable with its male on one end and female 1/4 inch on the other end, and then run that so it can get onto your hot plate, and that helps curb it a little bit and curb the crazy volume.
Yeah. Now, if our friend Rob was on, he would strongly suggest not using
He'd be
any
grabbing
attenuators.
the barf bag right now.
Yeah, he has an issue with how they affect the circuitry and transformers and such in amplifiers.
Yeah,
And
I'd be interested in that. He's been on the show.
yeah, he's an amp repair guy here in Columbus.
Okay.
And
he's been on a load of episodes.
yeah, and
cool.
Not this year. This year's, I think it was pretty tough. He had a lot going on.
yeah.
Business and family stuff. So he's still around. He's still our pal.
But I used back in the day the Tom Scholl's power soaks, which were far worse than what the THD hot plates or the power brakes and things like that.
What's the one Marshall made? The Power Brake, right?
Was it the Power Brake? I'm trying to think. It might have been. I'm thinking Dr. Z has one called the
Air Brake. Is
Air
the
Brake.
Dr. Z.
Yeah. And they all essentially do the same thing. They kind of replicate a speaker load and allow you to crank your amp, but keep your volume down a little bit.
Yeah.
And they, you can cook eggs on them, of course, if you,
Yeah.
because they heat up like mad.
Yeah. The hot plate has a fan in it that just kind of switches on when it gets to a certain temperature. There's no AC power going to it, and you're just playing, and all of a sudden you hear whizzz, and a little fan comes on. I don't know. I had good luck with them, but I didn't use them very long because, like I said, now I've got this reissue SU15, which is I put that at half. And no one complains.
Yeah.
It's like it gets me all the teeth of a good Vox amp that's working without killing me. And I did try a couple of the ones made in China, and they were a little too crispy. I used one at our rehearsal space that's there. It belongs to my guitar player in my band, and it's fine. But it's a little crispy. Well, but a lot of things are crispy with a Rick because they're so bright.
Yeah.
If maybe it wouldn't be as crisp if I was using, an Epiphone Les Paul. It sounds like it's got a blanket thrown over it.
Yeah. So back to the Super Beetle and that whole series. Those were made by Thomas Organ, right?
Correct. They were. So I'm going to get this wrong, but my basic understanding of it is that they were importing the tube stuff, the JMI stuff at the height of the popularity of the Beatles and all the other British invasion bands that were using them. And then they struck a deal where they said, no, we're gonna do new designs here in Sepulveda that are solid state, but they're based on the Dick Denny designs, but we're going to use these new fangled transistors. And Vox went, okay. And they did it. And like I said, it's to varying degrees of success. If you ask Ampetex, they're going to go, fortunately, I like I said, you have to really disembowel them in order to get to like one simple part and change it out. And they're tricky. Fortunately, the one I have just got worked on a couple years ago before it came my way. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm also not going to put it. I'm not going to take it out and gig with it every weekend. So it's going to last a while. But when it comes to the big foot switch, we were talking about big foot switches earlier. It's got a big foot switch where you can turn on and off all the stuff. It's got a fuzz to die for. But the problem with the fuzz built into it, which is probably a tone bender, is that you lose about a quarter of your volume. So you're going nice and loud, rhythm guitar, jing jing, and then your fuzz, and you go, it just gets really quiet. But it's got a beautiful spring reverb, a really cool tremolo. I mean, you can hear them on all these 60s records. Now, I had the Too Much edit point. I had Too Much to Dream by the Electric Prunes.
Yeah.
That's got almost all the effects going at the same time. And also, you want to hear what they sound like clean, listen to the first 2 or 3 Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers albums. Because they used them just for rhythm guitars and stuff, and they sound good. But those guys, those guys were working in the late 70s when it was still okay to be loud. It's now everybody's got fractals and stuff, and it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I love this thing, and like I see, it's kind of novelty, but it's also there it is, and
it looks super cool. Yeah,
it looks super cool, and it does sound great.
Yeah.
It's just 120 watts, and I can't do it.
Yeah, but that's transistor watts. It's different.
That's different.
Yeah, it is different. It is different. But that's the latest going on in Voxland. I'm also a keyboard player, and I have been offered a Woodkey Continental organ, and I don't know if I'm gonna get it because I already have a Continental. I don't need another one, and I'm running out of room.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Ben Hall, my pal Ben Hall, and he's doing great. He's doing great stuff over there.
Absolutely, he is.
Richard Kanata, who I hired to assist me in the customer service department, he's stayed put, and he's worked his way up, and is now the factory manager, if I'm not mistaken. He's done some cool things, which I fortunately got to see on visits. When I'd go back to visit, I'd get to see when they were developing things. So I knew for a while there that they were kicking around the idea of doing a bass that had a 330 body, a hollow body, like guitar body. Mm-hmm. And there was a sample of it kicking around for a while. And then for their 90th anniversary, they put it out. And I said, oh, cool. They finally developed that, and I bought one.
Of course you did.
Yeah. And
they also had didn't they have they kind of re-released the 480 90th anniversary?
That's a funny story. I don't know if this is directly related or not, but I know for a fact that for the first few years anyway, that Richard Kanata was working at Rick. The one he owned a pedal steel or a lap steel, but the regular electric guitar that he owned that was a Rick was a 480, and that was kind of his favorite guitar. So that may have had an influence on him going, hey, why don't we do a new 480 that's got a neck through and checker binding? And that may have been because they're doing a bass with a guitar body. Let's do the guitar that has the bass body.
Yeah.
And
maybe
that was part of the logic.
And that's essentially what that's for those who don't know. There was the 480 and then the 481 that were essentially 4001 bodies at the time, bass bodies that they put a 6-string neck and 6-string pickups and 6-string bridge, and were all of them bolt on, or were there some neck?
No, they were all bolt on.
Okay.
I owned a couple. I got one in college for $75. And the paint was already like a spray over, like it was a Krylon flat black special paint job on it. So I stripped it down and painted it like the McCartney Magical Mystery Tour bass.
There you go.
and then sold it and blah 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 because you got to eat.
Yeah.
But that was so those are interesting guitars. They don't sound. They still got the Rick thing. They still got the Rick zing.
Well, what's we're talking about Ben, and he's pretty much running the company at this point and overseeing things. And the one thing I've talked about this before, and in fact I was involved with one of their more recent projects, but he's been doing some really cool small run guitars and basses. I mean, the first thing that really caught my eye was the 4005 vintage style. The one that the 330 body or 360 body one that you have was called a 4005 C90 or
XC, which is Roman numeral 90.
But they actually did a true reissue of the 4005 that came out in what would have been was it in the 60s?
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the original run? Yeah, it was in
68, 69. Yeah. But and then I as I see some of the things that Ben posts, and I mean, and there was a small run of like 425s or 450s not too long ago that looked super, super cool. And
they had modern bridges because they were using up the bridges from the 650s guitars. That they stopped making the 650 and probably had a box of those bridges around the tailpieces. And they said, "Well, let's do it. What do we do here? Oh, no, let's rethink the 420." And that's a great use of that.
And the one that I was most recently involved with were the 4002 reissues. He's doing a small run of those. I don't know. You probably remember from your days being at the factory. They had body blanks or wings at least in storage because they never really sold a lot of the 4002s, which were kind of supposed to be a deluxe version of the 4001. And
they're real interesting. They had weird pickups that you don't see on anything else. There's some kind of strange humbucker thing, and it had a built-in DI box with an XLR out, and really fancy appointments like a ebony fingerboard and a weird checker binding that was black on the outside, I think, but they had some wings and some fingerboards lying around, and I don't know what the status is of those 4002s, but should be cool.
Yeah, well, I made a bunch of pick guards for them, so I actually years ago had a custom lamination done because I was out at the factory and I got pretty accurate measurements of the 4002 that's on the Wall of Fame there, and so I have the material, and it's an odd 5-ply material. Let me tell you that because it's got a really thick black layer in the middle, and so I made a bunch of those, and hopefully those will come to market. I don't know if I doubt that they're going to do the DI and maybe they'll just use
you're right. I would be surprised if they did anything other than putting HB1s on it. But yeah, that's cool. And they did them in Maple Glow and in Walnut, which Walnut at the time was a tobacco burst. So that's a cool thing, and it was really fun having, when I worked there, having access to that room, mostly as a point of reference. If someone said, I've got a 1968 whatever, and what kind of screws were used on this thing because I'm trying to do a restoration, I could go, hang on, put the phone down, go over and look and say, oh, okay, use Phillips heads. Okay, great. And that was really great. Also being right there next to the frying pan.
Oh, yeah, of course. But the one thing that I've always loved about Ricken-backer, see, I said it right, is they have not, they stuck to the recipe. And while, the building methodology has changed over the years, you're obviously using CNC stuff now, the shapes of the guitars, the basic sounds and the pickups, most of the hardware has stayed consistent from really the late 50s on to current production. Mm-hmm.
And there's been some concessions that they've made that were really smart. Like anyone who's ever had a Rick knows that the strap buttons are they just thread in by hand, and there's not really any way to use modern strap locks with them on the traditional style ones. Well, somewhere in the mid 90s, they got, I think it was Schaller who was making the strap buttons to make the tip, instead of it being the sort of flat style with the little ridges around the edge, they made it where this uses the same thread screw, but it uses a the bit off of the end of a Schaller strap lock. So now. And they made that standard issue on all their stuff, and you can still buy the vintage one if you wanted, but the vintage strap bolt. But now, so it's great. Whenever I get a Rick, I get Schaller strap locks. Yep. Put it on a strap, and there you go. It's great. But yeah, Tony, I can put a button on what you just said. Do you guys get a copy of Martin Kelly's amazing Rick book out of the frying pan into the fire glow?
Yeah, I have the hardcover deluxe for home and the soft cover for the shop, and I dig through it all the time.
Yeah, Martin's work is great and very thorough, and he had that great Fender book before.
Yep.
And Martin and Paul, I believe, his brother
Paul is a photographer.
That's right. Well, I was fortunate enough to get a quote in that book. In the text proper, I'm in the very last or next to last paragraph, and I said something to the effect of, there are people who criticize Ricks for, why don't you make something that does what, I didn't drop names, I didn't say Gibson, Fender, blah blah, but I said there are people who say, well, why don't you do what everybody else does? Why don't you make a variation of that? And I said, my quote is, there's already people doing that. If you want something that does that, go get that.
Yeah.
If you want a Rick, get a Rick. And yeah, basically that was the point I was trying to make, is that these guitars do a unique thing, and why should Rick make something that looks like a Stratocaster? They'd be in trouble for that right now if they wanted to, if they did that anyway, because of all the stuff. And and it's funny, you guys have touched on this a bit, but it's as good a time as any to talk about the copyright/trademark thing that's going on with Fender, which is just making me giggle, because Rick has always been really good about protecting their trade dress, and in order to do that, part of the thing you have to do legally is police it. And so, and I remember it was still when I was working there. I left there in 2010, so it had to have been in the year or two before that, when somebody went whoops at Fender and forgot to file whatever paperwork was necessary, as I recall. I don't know the details, and so they lost the trademark, and it went into public domain. Again, I'm going to get the details wrong, and so there's going to be listeners on here who know those facts better than I do. But nonetheless, that's that or something like it is what happened, and it's intellectual property. Of course you want to protect it. If when I write a song, and, if you're going to borrow something from it, I'd like a slice of the pie, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole Fender thing with the workaround with it's a piece of art and it's copyright, and it's I don't have an opinion on it. I'm just kind of interested in it. I'm just kind of like, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But the public outcry is amazing. People going, how dare they protect their intellectual property or make an attempt to do so? I'm like, well, that's what these laws are for.
Well, I think the biggest issue is why wait 70 or 75 years before you do something about it, right?
I agree with that.
I mean, that seems to be the outcry. And, the fact that, I don't know if you've seen any of the letters that have gone out to, various companies. And it's just like they are just, their attorneys are playing serious hardball and making demands that are just very unrealistic.
I smell blood in the water.
But I mean,
I have not seen any of that stuff. Yeah,
and I think it's. I mean, if Fender was smart back in 1950 or 1960, they would have done what they're trying to do now, which is a copyright versus a trademark or a design patent. And, those things are they cost a lot of money to defend. And, you can send all the cease and desist letters out that you want, but at the end of the day, unless you're, planning, it's going to cost them money to file lawsuits and go after and defend things. It's my opinion. It's too little, too late. I mean, in terms of the Strat, I mean, probably the most copied guitar of all time. I mean, it is I will agree with Fender. It is an iconic shape, and that's why everybody makes a copy of it. Same way with the Telecaster. It's an iconic shape. P-bass, J-bass, a Rickenbacker. I mean, it's those are, and I remember as a kid watching, seeing the Beatles or George Harrison playing that guitar. I said, I've got to have one of those guitars. That just struck a chord with me, and I have one now. It took me 50 years, but I got one.
Yeah. Well, I used to get that proposed to me at some point too, particularly when I was working there. People would go, well, don't you think your guitars are out of reach price wise for some people? And I said, well, when I was in high school, I couldn't afford one. Yeah. So I saved up and got one.
Yeah.
And so, a Rick is ballpark $2,000 street price right now, but gas is $5 a gallon. So they were $600 when I was in high school.
Yeah. I mean,
and it would seem like a lot for a guitar.
Yeah. And to be, and I think Ricks are still one of the, for an American made instrument, they're still one of the best bargains out there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because you did mention that they have gone through a couple of design changes, if you will, under the hood. One thing that's interesting that I've got a couple of these more modern instruments now, modern being in the last 5 years, where they've done away with the double truss rod.
Yeah,
and they've gone to a single truss rod that you could adjust with an Allen key, and I haven't had to adjust those necks yet, so I have no idea what that's going to be like. But it's going to be interesting because I mean, I'm not a builder. I don't know. I know how to work on them. I know how to make them play great, but I don't. But I don't know the physics of because there's more wood there, is it going to be more stable and those sort of things. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that stuff turns out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're great, and one thing that Ben is doing that is pretty cool is at least if you look at his Instagram page, is he's doing a lot of cool focusing on younger bands that are using them in a variety of styles, because there's the Rick bass is probably as popular now as it was in the 70s with younger bands, and they're doing crazy things with them, probably because of people like Al from Sleep and stuff, where they're running them through tons of effects and drop tuning them and doing all kinds of stuff. And it's cool to see that to see what's going on with that, and other younger players that are doing them through a wash of effects or playing them dead clean, whatever. So it's great. It's I'm happy that I'm happy that they're doing so well, and I'm still a fan.
What's your take on the unfinished fingerboards?
That went away very quickly. That they did that production. They did that at the factory for not even a year, and then they brought it back.
Yeah,
they brought the finished fingerboard back. I like the finished fingerboard. It's cool for me. I mean, and if you don't like it, you can hit it with some sandpaper and have fun with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a 67 330 that I got for cheap years ago, and it was screwed up because when I got it, the neck had been broken in half, like right around the octave. Ooh. and repaired with like screws going through the dot markers on the fingerboard.
Oh man.
Having said that, it was it was great. It played great. It's got a great, like, you can bend and get kind of soulful and bluesy on it and stuff. But it was just too much after a while to play a fifth position A bar chord donk, the A and E strings. It went, bzz, and so I was like, this fingerboard is all warped because of this bad repair from years ago. So I took the frets off and planed it down and put new frets on. I did not finish it. So I have a Rick with an unfinished fingerboard, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But no, some people have have a fit about that, and that's okay. And like I said, if they don't like it, they can they really like their guitar, but they can't get over the fingerboard having a clear coat on it, then just sand it down.
Yeah. Or get something else.
Yeah, buy something else.
Yeah,
or get something else. And I mean, again, going back to my quote from Martin's book, that's kind of what I was. The point I was making is that this is not. No one's forcing you to get a guitar, and if it's not your thing, that's okay, because it does something that your Strat doesn't do. It does something that your Les Paul won't do. And that may be true in reverse, but that's okay, because that's what it's a big, beautiful world, and why not have a bunch of guitars?
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
Stimulate the economy, damn it.
Yeah,
yeah, and that too. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Anyway, I've just been blabbering for a while. Did you have any other specific questions, guys?
I don't know. What do you think, Todd?
I do have one question for you. Since you are a big Vox guy, I know that you aren't using pedals to drive your Voxes per se, but you brought up the whole point of quiet club culture and stuff.
Yes.
If you gotta have that sound, that maybe you're not doing, your style, which is like, I don't need pedals, I'm going to juice the amp. But you still want to get that vibe. Mm-hmm. What alternatives would you suggest?
Well, about I told the tale of a million years ago in my 20s picking up this vintage MXR micro amp, which, by the way, you can't even tell what it is anymore because I've worn all the paint off of it, and it's just gray. Around that same time, I picked up a very similar pedal made by DoD called the FET preamp, the Field Effect Transistor preamp, which is essentially a micro amp without a button, and it's battery only. It's got a knob, and that's it. So I'll keep that in my box that I carry my cables in. And if I'm playing and I feel like that I'm getting a hard time from a sound man, which they're just doing their job, folks. Yeah, I've been a sound man too. It's and sometimes yes, you're too loud, or I'm too loud. We're all too loud. But if I need to get some teeth out of the amp, but I've just got to bring it down. I'll pull that thing out and just set it on top of the amp and use a cable similar to a Tour Gear Designs patch cable.
Yeah.
I'm not a customer yet. Sorry, I don't use pedals. But I'll just put that thing in the front of it and turn that thing up to halfway, and then just adjust the amp accordingly. And that gets me the Vox thing.
Yeah.
I mean, as much of a fan as I am of people like Rick Nielsen, I don't sound like that because I just don't have that much gain going on.
Mm-hmm.
Rick is right at the edge. Rick's classic Cheap Trick sound is right at the edge of gain, and he but it's not chug.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
which I don't like. I don't like chug.
Understandable.
But yeah, so I keep that little box with me and also if it's too much trouble, I don't feel like setting up the power, what do you call it? The hot plate. Then I'll just use that thing. Yeah, attenuator. And I'll just hit the front end of the amp and get a similar thing. Cause I'm playing nicer places these days, but for a long time I was playing punk rock clubs and stuff we all have. And so you don't have time to set up 50 things and make sure all your pedals are working. You've got like 5 minutes and then your band's supposed to start because it's 12:05 in the morning and you got to, there's two bands after you. And so you've got to be in a hurry. You got to do it quick. So if, something like that, I'm like, I can plug this pedal in, boom. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And I just, even though I'm not playing places like that as much as I used to, I still have that mentality of we got to set up quick. You know.
We're about to round the third, Tony.
Yes.
Kenny, thank you for all that information. I've just been listening along. It's like I'm listening to a podcast. This is kind of interesting.
Well, thank you. I'm sure I went on some tangents there and just talking about
good, man.
Just talking about stuff I like. I'm so happy to be back on the show, but I'm not a builder. I don't make pedals. I don't make guitars. I don't make amps. I do like a variety of stuff. I just have have my favorites, and that's what I've been going on.
It's all good, man.
Excellent. Well, at this point of the show, Todd,
Tell me.
there's a little game we like to play called something like
Would you rather?
yes.
Yes.
Would you rather? Now, I'm told that our friend Kenny Howes has put together a very special Would You Rather for us today.
I can't wait to hear it.
I have it's on theme. But first, let me say that I recently uncovered the episode where you guys first discovered the sped up voice singing "Would You Rather."
Yes.
Where you guys were like, "Why is this doing this?" And then you went. I guess you evidently went, "This is great. Let's just keep it." But I was like. I was giggling to myself because I'm like, they're going to keep doing this. It's a total accident. Somebody hit the wrong button on something and it's sped up, and this is great. All right, so Rush is on tour. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Right? New drummer. They're playing the hits.
Yeah.
Our friends at Rick made Getty some new instruments.
Nice.
It's a good time. Friends of mine went to LA recently and saw that first show, and I guess they're going around the country.
Yeah, they're playing up in Cleveland here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Right on. Good for them. I never got to see Rush. I like Rush just fine, but I just never went to see them. But let's say that Rush came to you. And you are there. You are in the wings. You're hanging out at the show. You got a press pass, or you for some reason you're in the wings at a Rush show.
Yeah.
And they weren't clear on who, but one of the two fellows up front, Alex or Getty, they came to you and said something happened to one of the guys, and we need you to step in and play the Rush set. Now, let's assume for the sake of this exercise that you are fluent in Rush. That let's just say that you know how to play the stuff. But here's the spare guitars we have for you to choose from. They're all Ricken-backer double necks.
Of course they are.
Now, you have a choice. You have a choice between the 4080/12, which is a bass on the top neck, and a 12-string on the bottom neck, solid body bolt-on necks. The 4080, which is bass on the top, 6-string on the bottom, or the 362/12, which is a semi-hollow 12-string neck on top, 6-string neck on bottom. Tony?
Yes, that's
I'm
right.
trying to do the math in my head still. Sorry.
So you got
Todd, if you're sitting in front of a screen, look up Ricken-backer double neck, and all three of them will pop up
Yeah.
at some point.
So the choices are the bass and 12-string, the bass and 6-string,
Yes.
or the 12 and 6-string.
Yes.
Which would you rather?
Okay. I can dig this.
Yeah. I'll go first. How's that sound?
Please, yes.
Yes.
That way you guys can throw rocks at me. So
Go ahead.
boy. I think I'm gonna go with the is it the 360 12?
362?
Yeah, 360
It's a 362/12.
362/12. So the 12-string and the 6-string, and hopefully I'm not replacing Getty because that's going to be a little odd transition, I would say.
Indeed. But you're assuming in this fantasy world that you've got a lot of effects at your disposal, and you could always have some. Oh, you got Moog pedals. You got Moog Taurus.
Oh,
you're fine.
Yeah, okay. Or is there a possibility that Rick would make me a special 3-neck so I could have a bass 12 and a 6?
Oh, brother.
Or is that not an option?
There's not a possibility.
Damn. Okay, I'm going to go with the 12 and 6, only because those are my favorite sounds out of a Ricken-backer.
Bonus question: which color?
I think I'm going to go Maple Glow.
Okay.
I really like, I think I've owned Jet Glow, Fire Glow. I've had a Maple Glow. I just like the way the Maple Glow looks, especially when they use really, really curly maple on them.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Okay.
Todd Novak.
Well, I'm definitely going the 4080.
The 6-string guitar
The
neck?
bass and the guitar. Yeah. With the shark fins in jet glow. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I only have to pay a cool $25,000 for it.
You don't have to pay anything. It's free.
It's free. That's right. I forgot. No, that thing's
That's
amazing
right.
Yeah.
looking. And
pretty
actually,
cool.
I think you could get some really killer. How should I say this? At least I could play songs for my band, for sure on the higher strings on the bass, and it would sound pretty cool. I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you have a back brace?
I wouldn't be playing my song. I'd be like, "Hey, Getty, follow me." Yeah.
Hey, loser.
This one's it. This is the key of I don't know. Here we go.
All right.
Cool.
Kenny, what are you doing?
Well, I actually own a 362/12, so I would use that.
Okay.
It's a Fire Glow. It's a very long story that I really like when people have cool stories about their guitars, no matter what they are, but particularly Rick's because they're weird. They're just not, you don't just walk in like you see a Strat and go, oh, I like that Strat. Rick's almost always have a cool story. Well, this one, I love this thing, and it originated from your very own Ohio. From I want to say Cincinnati. It was down there. It was in a pawn shop, and then it got it was sat without strings for a long time, and it turns out once it got strung up, it needed work, and then a friend of mine worked something out where he acquired it and then knew I wanted it and did a neck reset on one of them, which is impossible on a Rick. It's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult because of the way they're put in. And it's great. I love mine. And for the first year I had it, I used it for every gig.
Wow.
But it weighs somewhere between 12 and 13 pounds. So then I
Holy
started
cow.
using it for one. Then I started using it. I'm 6'3", too. So it balanced out. It was okay. But then I started using it for like one song.
Yeah.
And I still want to work up some, one of the Zeppelin covers that has a double neck on it, so that I can say I have it.
How does that weight compare to the base models?
It's the bases are solid bodies, of course. It's been a long time since I played one, and I've never played one with a strap, so I don't know.
Hey, play with a pick, man. You're doing
it
wrong.
Try using a pick instead of a strap.
These are the jokes, people. What am I, Shiki Green? I don't know. Frankly, the factory has one of those 480 6 strings.
Mm-hmm.
It's white, I think, if I remember correctly. And that one's okay, but I played a couple of them out in the wild, and the setup was real wonky. So I'm not too sure about them. But they either made one from scratch or refurbished Geddy Lee's old one for the current tour.
Cool.
So
neato.
Good for those guys getting back out there and doing the thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tony Baloney.
Yes,
we
Todd?
need to say thank you to some people here.
Oh, you are correct, Todd, because at this point of the show, there's a special group of people that we love to thank. These are our executive producer. Zzz. S on the end, just like with Howes. We have more than one executive producer. Just like there's more than one Kenny Howes.
I hope not.
No, but anyhow. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become one? Well, you head over to patreon.com /the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate and become a sponsor, a friend, a hero, if you will, of the podcast.
Yes.
Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win great stuff and participate in our 10th anniversary and soon to be 500th episode. Woohoo!
Yes.
We've been busy. But in addition to all that great stuff, I'm told there's one thing more.
You get to have your name read on the thing.
Your name read on the thing. That's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pappas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Elad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer FX, John Sebastian, John Halverson, all the Johns, all in one place. Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Barazin, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, all the Trevors in one place. Vader and Pedals, Caribou Gone, Ed Rossler, Uday Ram, Andrew Fryette, Bob Claymeyer, and Chris St. George. Woohoo! That's cool.
Yes.
That's a cool name.
Yes. It is. That's kind of a rock and roll name.
That
right
is
there.
a rock and roll name. But wait, Todd, there's more.
Yes.
And Kenny, you wait. Please, hold. Because there's
What?
a special group of executive producers.
Especial.
Yes, we call them our grand poobahs. These are the creme de la creme, the A number ones, the top of the heap. And they wear a fez. Are you wearing your fez, by the way, Kenny?
You betcha.
I figured you might be. They wear a fez while listening to the podcast. Or recording the podcast, in this case. So special thanks to these grand poobahs. Anthony Giamalero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robinson, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Pedro Vasquez, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wow Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs, Ty Barnes, James Castellano, Michael Coward. And am I forgetting someone? I I think that's everyone. No. Kenny House.
Thank you so much, Kenny, for supporting our show. We truly, truly appreciate it. And all the other Grand Poobahs, we can't do this without you. We wouldn't be here today without you. And we're looking forward to
We can't
many
live
more.
if living is without you.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I was right on key and everything, man. Shit,
Beautiful.
Don't even mess with me.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No
but-
auto-tune there,
yeah.
baby.
All right. We need to say a huge thank you to Kenny House for sharing his time with us. Yes. Let me thank myself
Sharing our
for
time
myself.
I would like to thank me for sharing
Yeah.
my time with you,
Yes,
Kenny.
yes. I did that with the other Kenny, actually.
Yes, you did.
My apologies. Kenny, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking with you. And
Thank you.
where can people see what you're doing out there in the world?
Sure, I'm on all the socials. Instagram is at Kenny House, KennyHowes. Facebook will be Kenny House Fan Club, which is just facebook.com/Kenny House Fan Club. Sorry, is it fan page? Kenny House fan page. Bandcamp is where you can hear the music that I've been making for many years. KennyHouse.bandcamp.com, and that's that.
All righty.
Nice.
Tanya?
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do? I make pick cards mostly for Todd. That's all I do anymore.
Whether you like it or not.
But no, I make
Todd,
them.
you're like an executive producer. For
Yeah, for Pick Guardian, yeah.
Yes.
But no, I'll make something, head over, send me an email. Let me know what you're doing, what guitar you've got,
Yeah.
what pickups you're using, all the stuff. I'll make something special for you.
Even if Tony says it's going to look stupid, he'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. There's a shoe for every foot, as they say.
Yes.
But Todd likes to say, it's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
Yes, y'all. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Love to talk to you. We've been getting some great messages in. I really have appreciated connecting with many of you out there. And I would also just mention, we have a lot of patrons who are supporting just by raising their hand. And I would love for it to go be a little bit more than that. We'd like to have a handshake, and we would love for you to join the executive and the Grand Poobah levels, because we have great things ahead. And I would love for you guys to be more involved in that, and it helps our show. So with that, we hope you all have a fantastic Guitar Week, and subscribe.
Oi! Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I can.
That's a lot of high-pitched yes.
Yeah.
Which usually means probably not. I jumped out way ahead of that bus. Sorry, guys.
You were very excited. It's okay.
I was like, I know that one.
It's funny and goes off the rails. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go.
Excellent.
I'm gonna. Yep.
All right, let's
do it.
do it this time. Right on.
Yeah, you and I both got tired of Tony talking right at the same time. That was funny.
Hey, no, that was close to me. I'm okay. Really? Am I that amped up?
No, you did what I do, which is Fred Flintstone feet my words.
Yabba dabba doo.
Okay.
I think I'm hearing the fan.
Because it's right
My fan?
there.
No.
Can you hear
Our
the fan, Kenny?
No, but I've got my AC going in the house, so I can't.
We
number
love
one fan.
Tony. We love Tony. So just,
I am gonna lightly and lovingly rib you guys a little bit about some things, but it's all fun and nothing.
Okay.
harsh.
I'm used to it. Oh, did you whisper in my ear a
What?
Oh, I couldn't tell. You had this stuff
Wait.
written all over here. Okay, clap me back in.
Okay. Wait, that wasn't very good. We don't
Hey,
take
guys.
kindly to that in these parts, Kenny.
Yay!
We done did it.
We did it.
Thank you, sir.
That was
Appreciate it.
That was more fun than I know what to do with.
Yeah.
And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.